Hi, this is Mike, and we're looking at the Bitcoin chart again. This time we're focusing mainly on what could potentially turn out to be a short trade here. And yeah, so the way I've labeled this is wave one, A, B, C, D, E. And, I wouldn't blame you if you thought that this is going to go higher. But in my view, this is getting ready to go down. Um, Short trade here is, risk reward ratio 3.09. Reason for that is because we'd be targeting the lows as a minimum expectation, right? So the thing about some E waves is that you can get weak ones, obviously, and in this case, expecting Bitcoin to go far below this area is not really necessary, in my opinion. We don't really know if it's going to do that to the extent that because I'm saying wave three down, because we can turn out to see some pretty weak move happening here. And from my experience, markets love to psych people out, and we could see something like this happen. That would be 5 waves, right? Now, obviously, don't quote me on that. We could go lower, right? So then I suppose it just takes us back to the whole looking for confluence scenario here, which we can't really do on this chart, considering that the price action is cut off from the beginning of the wave one. So if you haven't seen that video, this is the type of thing I'm looking at here, right? Fib from $161, start of wave one, coming back down to, at the moment, if it comes back to 0.786, it's going to seem unlikely to be the case for such a move. I'd expect to see price go probably even lower and potentially hit, that 90% level. Even that is still pretty high, considering we would be nowhere near previous fourth wave. Previous fourth wave would see this go down to about 3,000, right? Now, whether or not that sort of thing actually happens, well, I guess we're going to find out, because this is the perfect time for it to turn lower in wave three. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one pans out, I suppose, and how that relates to other cryptos, and whether or not other cryptos will, make more lows and continue to make lower lows, that sort of thing. Um, I will definitely be applying this type of view to other cryptos. Obviously, I haven't moved those labels yet from the previous video where I used it as an example of how it makes more sense to look at it in this particular way, but not the point. Let's go back to that chart. So as a minimum expectation here, back to the lows, in terms of the bigger picture, it could go lower, but to get you started, that's a risk reward ratio of 3. And don't forget that we need to see waves 3, 4, and 5. So if we see a wave 3 and you see a bounce, well, you still won't go above the red line until we get a wave 4 and a 5, right? So unless you see that pattern produced in that manner, then I wouldn't be stressing that much until you see 5 waves. Now, that's if you believe that that's what's going on here, right? This is only my view. My views can change from time to time. It doesn't matter that you should believe everything I say, right? But looking at the bigger picture, looking at the smaller picture, looking at the subdivisions of this correction, A, B, C, D, it makes sense that we'd at least see a little bit lower in Bitcoin, right? Not necessarily down to 3,000, but I cannot predict if it will do that. All right, we're dealing with probabilities here. How about we just track this and count to five on the way down, and then see how we feel about it when we see 5 waves. Okay, so hopefully this has helped, and thanks for watching.